The most common reasons not to have children are financial, and these are basically polls conducted in each country: Korea, Africa, Morocco, Brazil, Indonesia, India, the US, Hungary, Germany, and Sweden.
I think that these are interesting because these are the countries that are coming out and saying it. But a lot of people in the comments section were blaming social media for increasing consumerism and materialism, and then making you compare yourself to that super rich family. If you feel like you can't provide your kid that super rich family lifestyle, then you don't even have a family at all.
Basically, it's almost like a psychological thing. I can't really speak for South Korea and Africa or Morocco, Brazil, Indonesia, India, but I can do speak for the US. I feel like a lot of people in the US are like, as bad it is now, like it is in decline, I feel like people can still like live, depending on the city, of course. I'm not saying like New York or California, but in majority of cities, like, I went to school in Indiana, it might not be a cool life, but you're not starving, you're not in poverty.
Yeah, I mean, dude, anytime you see some kid like Ryan's toy reviews, I don't even know if that's the best example because he seems like a good kid, but he's making like 20 million a year just like playing with toys. It makes you go, well, if my kid's not going to be like a Ryan toy reviews and we're just going to be like a regular family, why don't I just go spend all the money on myself and go eat and live and travel whenever I want?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying that there are no problems, financial, economic problems in, for example, the US, but it is a psychological thing, I think. It is like definitely a part of it. The expectations have been increased.
The expectations, and do you blame that on social media?
I think there is some truth to it. It's hard to quantify that kind of thing.
I think that social media has got everybody buying into like a different game. Your game that you used to compare yourself to and all your competitors, it used to just be like in your town or your village or your city. Now you're playing against everybody else in the whole Instagram.
Right. And also what's interesting is that the two European safety net countries, I guess Scandinavia, Sweden, is like Sweden and Germany, right? Both of these countries are social democracies, so it's capitalism but very regulated, and people there have, universal education, universal healthcare, but even them, they're still on the list, but it is like ranked like the lowest. And I can say this because I have a lot of German friends here in Thailand, and they say that yeah, they're very fulfilled in Germany. Healthcare is good, but taxes are high. But
so why are they still not having kids? Because of money?
Because of money and just more freedom.
This kind of gets into that whole like Peter Thiel post-transhumanism, where it's basically like humans have reached a point where they don't need to procreate anymore and just hand the world off to cyborgs.
Yeah, I mean, there was also a very interesting debate between Andrew the Crucible with Walsh, and I'll throw it up here, and a very interesting thing to look at.